Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the RaceKraft Simulations V8 Vets Split 4 broadcast, coming to you from the one and only lovely Thruxton Circuit in Hampshire in the beautiful United Kingdom. I'm John Van Ree. With me in the raffle calling tonight, we've got Mark Dial, Mr. Michael Hayes and Robert Williams. How are we, boys?
Thanks, John.
You good, mate?
Very good, mate. Ready for this British race?
Ah, yes, the sun is out. That is the first start. You never know what you're going to get when you're in good old England. Let's have a quick look at the track, and we'll start with the track map itself. And, of course, we start on the start-finish straight, head up through Allards, which is a fast-flowing fourth gear right-hander, and then up into the tight, twisty section of the circuit at Campbell and Cobbs. You need to get a good exit out of Cobbs so you can get some pace through Seagrave. and then we start going through the fast flowing sections of the circuit where we come through Noble, and then we've got to get the car around through Goddard, and then we come down into Church where you are doing 200 k's plus through Church down in the Brooklands, and then into Woodham Hill, and then we come into the club chicane, and it is an absolute ripper around this place. It is a very fast lap time to get yourself around here, and it is definitely going to be the thing that you really, really want to see is that club chicane. Gonna do the flyby. Captain Wilson's been at it again. He has ducked over and done a quick flight past for us here. He was going to come in and land, but he was denied. The tower denied his flyby. The ghost pattern was full. So anyway, fly past. You can see it is in the beautiful English countryside, and it is definitely a great little circuit built around an old World War II airfield, which is pretty well much 2/3 of all British racing circuits, and it is an absolute ball terror, heavily used in the British Touring Car Championship. The BTCC guys absolutely flog it around that place really well. Before we have a look at the grid and talk about tonight's race format, just going to throw up the championship standings because it is a hell of a battle starting to unfold, as we're through 6 rounds already. And of course, Steve Williams is leading the championship from DPR. That has been a great effort from him. Sitting in second is the rookie Abel Verban, who has had 3 wins. Abel doing very, very well. Simon Black from Oceanic Sim Racing, the iRacing legend himself, is sitting in third. He's doing really well. Peter Kelly's been knocking on the door of these boys all season. He's only 1 point behind from the podium. Pete Morris from Fishing Motorsports has got himself up there. Michael Hayes is sitting in 6th. Yusuf Korafides, his teammate, in 7th. David Baldock still in 8th. We've got to do something about that tonight, surely. And then in 9th, we've got Carl Pickering and Darren Walden from Angry Birds rounds out the top 10. Of course, that's with 1 drop round. When we get through tonight's proceedings, I think we might go to 2 drop rounds so we can start to see a clear pattern for what we've got left in the season. And it is going to be a hell of a race for the championship with 3 to go after tonight. Let's have a quick look at the grid. And of course, this is a heat race followed by a feature race. So it's a 16-lap heat race, 24-lap feature. The heat race, we've done qualifying. The top 10 have been inverted for the heat race. The heat race is a qualifying race. There are no points up for grabs. We are just trying to get ourselves in a good position so that we are going to have everything to play for in the feature. Let's have a look at the grid as we throw it up on the screen now. And of course, Craig Rose qualified 10th, so that puts him on pole for Quantum Racing. So it'd be great to see how Rosie goes. He's been getting quick and doing well. Set a good time to get himself in the top 10. Deserves to be around there. Bruce Galloway from W2 Motorsports is sitting there beside him. And then the next man, of course, is Yusuf Korafides sitting in third on the second row against Kevin O'Neill from We Race. So great to see Kev in the top 10 as well. Anthony River from SLS has put in a good time to be on the third row against Robbie Williams. I'm sure the Player One extraordinaire driver is going to entertain us all. And then our race, 3 times a race winner, the man sitting second, then championship, Abel Verban, is sitting on the 4th row alongside Pacific Esports, Marty Hughes. On the 5th row is Michael Power, who's at the second fastest time for Southern Cross Racing. He lines up alongside Peter Wilkinson from Locked On Racing, who set the fastest time. And of course, Wilco, the TikTok extraordinaire, the influencer himself, had done such a good time there. Apparently, he had 100 people watching him on TikTok last night. On the 6th row, we have Darren Walden from Angry Birds Racing, and then alongside him is Kurt Heath from Apex Esports League. So great to see him doing really, really well. As we go over the page to Tim Vermey on the 7th row, lining up alongside Braden O'Loughlin from Frog Leap Juiced Racing. And then we go to the 8th row with Darren Freer from W2 Motorsports lining up alongside Darren Friend from Old Mates and Sons. On the 9th row is Dougie Wright from Old Mates and Sons. He's done quite well to put a time in there. Joseph Grenshaw from Unhinged lines up alongside him. On the 10th row is Rob Baxter, jumping straight back in the sim after being away for a week, and to an absolute eye-opener of a format of racing and an eye-opener of a track. And he lines up alongside Southern Cross Racing's Vaughan Robinson. On the 11th row, we have Leon Williams from Locked On Racing lining up alongside Ash Hall from Quantum Racing. And then, of course, on the 12th row, we've got Simon Pitt from Southern Cross Racing lining up alongside David Baldock from WKMP. And then over the page, we go again, and we have Peter Morris and Fishy Motorsports. So, as we said, he'd done very well to get himself into the championship contentions in 4th, knocks himself all the way back down to 25th, and he lines up alongside Greg Shelton from Mustangs North Queensland. Timmy Hall from Player One lines up alongside Sean Slater from Henry James Racing. And then we have David Logstar from Team AJR in the 15th row lining up alongside Van Ree from WKMP. And then Darren Vermey didn't set a time. Jamie Dyke is our extraordinary safety car driver. Dave Coleman, of course, is race control. Carl Pickering from Pico Industries didn't set a time. Phil Marsh didn't set a time. And Hazy's been a naughty, naughty boy sitting in there. Yep. Didn't set a time either.
That's what you get.
That's what
Behave
you get.
Yourself.
Exactly. And any thoughts on that grid, boys?
Yeah,
That was what I expected.
Yeah, I didn't expect it at all. That's actually a lot of names up and down. I think this track favours some, it doesn't favour others. Some are faster than others. Like even with Pete there, he was pulling 13s, but he's not top of the grid. So I just think it's sort of track that's a bit of an equaliser. There's a little bit of a shuffle. Like even Abel's not in the front track, right? So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And of course, we have our usual going to be a very, very tough start. And going to be very, very interesting to see how the likes of Rosie, Galloway, Corofidis and O'Neill go being up at the pointy end of the grid as well. And it'll be interesting to see how some of these guys tackle it from the back. I think you got to be a little aggressive, but you got to be safe to be sure, because if you get it wrong, you're going to basically have a rear grid for the feature race. This race, of course, was only 40 Ks, and then the feature race, of course, will be that little bit longer, coming in at 90. So, yeah, definitely a bit of a shake-up for these guys to see how we all go. And it was interesting, the grey matter, I think, was in play for quite a few, particularly in the higher splits, talking to a few people. Those guys running in the top 10, and those guys usually qualified on the first 1 or 2 rows. Some of them were contemplating trying to set themselves up to be further back, which runs a big risk if you don't get yourself into that list. You could wind up 13, 14 back and get yourself into a lot of trouble early. So anyway, I think what we might do, guys, we might light the wick on the heat race, get this started, and we'll see how this plays out.
Go.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yep. Sounds good.
What I can tell you is last place is in the chicane.
I can confer to that. I was actually staring at a wall. I was like, if I accelerate and turn here, I'm going to come off as we start to hear the engines roar. The flag is about to drop, and we are away. So it is a cracking start from Rosie. Galloway looking to the outside. Going to get himself nicely settled. I'm going to come back in the pack a little bit here. Where's Baldock? He's back here somewhere. As you can see, it is a massive pack moving forward. And Timmy Hall's in the mix of this as well. So Timmy under brakes there, gets himself nicely through into the next corner. And that should be about 4. And Tim's going to have a little bit of an interesting moment here, I think. Oh, I've got the wrong hall. No, Hazy's involved here. So I think you 3 wide with Mr. Hayes. Very aggressive.
Oh,
Timmy Hall goes for a bit of a tour on the grass as we jump back to Rosie, heading in towards Church for the first time. And he is absolutely flying. Galloway putting a lot of pressure on him very early. And having a look on the outside. Very interesting chicane to come into here. He can get that move done, and he has. Gorofides tucks into third. So Yusuf's hanging onto this one fairly well as he goes into the lane. What's going on there, Hazy?
He had coming together with someone and had to do a drive-through.
That was a quick call from RC, from DC to get that done. So he's dropped all the way back. So that is a big blow for him already out of the box. So Abel Verban is up 4 spots. He has done very, very well. And he is definitely looking quite good at this stage. Just got to be stable. Of course, don't forget, this is setting the qualifying grid moving into the next heat. And Abel looking very stable as he comes around. And of course, Mark, you didn't race on this track.
No, I was had prior engagement, so I didn't buy the track. And this is, well, apart from watching Split 1 last night, the first time I've seen it. So
Big shout out to Shane.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Pato in the chat as well. Couldn't down south in Victoria. They let him in this morning. Oh, big move here from Abel. Can he get it pulled up? Looks like he has. Oh, there's contact with Galloway. Oh, that is drama. And going back across, clips another 2 cars.
Oh, no.
Takes that Robbie Williams out.
Yeah, Robbie Williams has gone backwards. Michael Power's gone backwards. There is a few involved in there. There's a few more a bit further back, I think, as well. If I can get back there. There's still a few cars everywhere. So that has shuffled. The man who was second in the championship has shuffled all the way back. So that is a big blow. And
Yeah, it's going to change things up.
just going to check on your friend Yusuf. What was that? I think I might have missed Yusuf. But he's back out on track. So he's going again. Jump on with Timmy Vermey. Timmy's still sitting up 6 spots in the 7th. So that's a great start for him. So no safety car out of that incident, which was, I think, detriment to the guys getting themselves all going again. And definitely Tim under a lot of pressure here from Peter Wilkinson. And all the way back, Darren Freer in the mix here as well. Darren having a good look coming down into club for the 3rd time. So it's 3rd time of 16 laps. No compulsory pit stop in the heat race. So definitely a massive shuffle, and definitely going to see how this one plays out now. Swalden's made some moves as well. He's up 6 spots into 5th. So we're seeing some of these guys make amends. Marty Hughes tucked up behind him as well. He's up 2 spots. Timmy Vermey's up 6 spots. Some of our other big movers, Joseph Grenshaw, he's up 7 in 11th. He's got a bit of clear traffic around him now, so he should be safe to try and hang on to that if he doesn't fall off himself. So a few movers and shakers. Hazy up 12 spots back in 24th for that rear grid start. So must be pretty happy with that. Michael?
Yeah, I just figured I'd be super aggressive and hope everyone else was too scared to fight me in the corner, and it worked out pretty good.
Jump on with Ashall. Of course, coming around through Church there where you got that off camber, very, very difficult. Let's see what Hall can do here.
It looks like there's a few off camber corners.
There's a couple.
Yeah, especially around village, around the back of the church.
Mm.
That's a big slanted corner. It takes a lot of bravery to come into club, I must say. Like watching the drivers come into that chicane, especially that move that was pulled up earlier from Abel. Big brave move coming into that chicane. Almost stuck it. I was going to give him kudos to it. Like you're coming into that, you've got a lot of pace. You're just thinking, right, when do I actually draw back? When am I going to hit those curbs? So a lot of courage, and you see it all the time coming into club in that chicane.
Yeah, it is. It is a balls corner, and it's hard because you've got sort of coming out of Woodham Hill. You've kind of got the leading right before you dive into it, and the apex closes, and there's really 2 lines or 3 lines even coming in and into there. Which means your opponent can pick one of those other lines and still be quite competitive with it. So
The
Wilco.
thing about this track is the great big, see the grass space left and right. There's always
Yeah.
runoff room. And it's a
Bit of
big
a-
wide track too.
Oh, he's clicked to me.
He's gone. A couple of spins.
Pete's going to have to sit there now. That is not where you want to be sitting. That is not a great view. Oh, contact. That's just gone from worse to worse. A very, very damaged vehicle there for the locked on lads racing. He gets himself going. So that is a blow for Wilco. He was up the top end. He's now down 21 spots. And I think this race has got to start to settle down now, surely. We've seen some big moves. We've seen some big incidences already. Kevin O'Neill's doing quite well. He'd be pretty happy with that. Keeping Raisey honest, though. And Anthony Rivett's still up there as well, the SLS driver, having an absolute blinder. This is what I thought was impressive when I looked at the leaderboard around this stage. I thought these guys have gotten away and they've gotten a jump on Hughes. They're out to nearly 4 seconds on him. So the boys at the front have managed to make this work for them.
Yeah, they've been showing glimpses of this for weeks now, so it's good to see that it's paying off for them.
And actually,
Too wide for the club.
Yep. 2 wide and 2 others about to jump in, pick up some chips. Having a look.
Nice little battle here.
Oh, it is. Friendy's not backing out of it. And Braden's going to have a look here too, is he? No, he's not. They get a bit smart. Because going through Campbell and Cobbs, it's that little bit tricky.
All of you would have to be a bit worried with Michael coming down on him.
Oh,
I was worried. Anytime you're near Baldock, there's a chance you're going to crash.
Well, this is true.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm just sitting back there waiting to pick up the scraps. Surely something's got to give with Baldock.
Yeah, the luck can't go all this long.
Definitely driving well though. Hats off to him. Can he put a move on Greg? As you can see, high speed into club. Greg takes the defensive inside line. Forces Baldock a little bit wider.
He was quick through there early in the week when we were doing some laps, so Baldock was doing quite well through the last couple of corners.
Now, I did see some sneaky times during the week from practice where Baldock was faster than Pecky. Here we go, he's going to make a move on Sharpen, is he? Yes, oh no, contact! Baldock's off in the weeds. What have you done? What have you done, Baldy?
Had to run out. Of course,
that was probably my fault because I've said something. I think I might have sneezed or half taken a breath in Discord. So Will Wilson, rumour has it, if he landed on a 4-leaf clover when he got bucked off the horse.
Kevin's got past Craig.
Yeah, I was just about to grab that. And he's gone. He's picked out some time again. We're not picking on him. We're just showing the facts. Actually, yes, a big shout out to Anita as well. Of course.
Made a big move on Craig Rose. He's a good 1.7 in front of him at the moment.
He's done pretty well. Thanks for showing that. You're welcome, Dave.
We didn't even know it happened until Dave mentioned it.
And I've missed the other one, I think. Well, I have two. Bugger it. I've missed one. I've missed the second one. Bugger!
You have to show us in the intermission.
Yeah, I'll have to wind it back. I won't delete it off the sheet. Where's Mr. Baxter? Has he got himself going again? Yes, he has. He's missing a few bits as well.
That car's looking rough.
Yeah, he's looking very
Lowered
rough.
in the front. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
That wheel's tucked right into the guard.
he's having a rough one.
Yeah, I'm guessing Rob will be disagreeing with his brother about the how good this track was.
It's not turning very well.
No.
So it's off to the airport.
Yep.
Can't park out there.
Yep. It's definitely not in a good way. I can't believe I missed that. Go back up the front. Anthony Rivet's now coming under pressure from Hughesy. Here he goes, thinking about a move, working left and right.
Doesn't look it, but it's a fast corner through church there. You got to pick that line. How close can you get to the building?
Getting closer to him. He's going to go to the outside line.
Too wide?
Not
Too wide in, maybe? No.
Not quite. And gets away with it. Kurt Heath looking to make a move on Walden.
Yeah, he's shown good pace this season. Kurt Heath.
I'm just going to go a bit further up. So Kevin O'Neill is cleared out now. He's definitely got the legs. He's got himself 2 seconds or nearly 3 seconds up the road. And he is ahead of Anthony Rivet. And Rosie in second, Rivet in third. So Rivet's starting to get a bit closer to Rosie. And Marty Hughes is still there in fourth, Kurt Heath in fifth, Darren Walden sixth, Darren Freer seventh, Joseph Greenfor up 10 spots into eighth, and ninth is Ash Hall. And of course, Steve Williams are missing tonight, so that opens the door up a bit for the championship, particularly for Abel, but Abel is in pit lane. Due to an incident earlier on. So definitely going to make the next heat, or make the feature race rather interesting in itself. It's going to go back on. Sean Slater's up 10 spots. He's putting a lot of pressure on Yusuf now. So these boys are just behind a few in front of them. So we've got Korafides, Hayes, Vermate in front. I'm not sure what's happened to Michael Power as well, so I think he got caught up in that early incident, but he's still going. I think Michael's back in 26, so I think he still managed to keep the car going where the others are in the lane, so at least he'll start ahead of those for the main race. And Rose is now coming under more and more pressure. So these three, second, third and fourth, all starting to bunch up. Marty Hughes telling Pato to hit the casino. No, he was gambling last night.
Definitely getting interesting.
Bunching up, lap 13 and 16. It's not long to go here. Of course, it's only a 1:15 lap time. Only a 95-second lap.
Tyres starting to feel a bit average.
They were, weren't they?
Yep.
Especially those
Cars
laps,
moving around.
sweepers. Yeah.
Yep.
starting to feel sloppy about this phase.
Yep.
Oh, Hughes, a bit twitchy. Can he hang on to it? I think he's going to get it done. This is where you got to be really smart. No, making one pass. Yeah, making one pass here is that worth the danger?
Fired another lap.
So actually Hall just set the fastest lap of a 1:14.51. So that just shows the pace that's been shown across the field. But Rosie's got himself away. Marty Hughes has now got Kurt Heath into this battle. So Kurt's starting to latch onto the back. Roll through Church. You can see that off cam. You can see you got to get it right. And then you got the curb on the outside. You've got to get into that quite well. Then we come through Brooklands. Just full noise, sweeping through, then sweep into Woodham Hill, into Club. So everyone taking the defensive line here, going on the inside. Got to hit the curbs. You can take a fair portion of it, get away with it. Then on the gas again, heading across the start-finish straight. Very twitchy as you come around the corner there to get straight into turn one. Just ride it across in fourth gear, let it roll out, get on the noise, and then coming up in the Campbell and Cobbs. Very, very tough corner to get right and sets up the rest of your lap. Hits the curb nicely, very well paced. Plenty of runoff area on the outside there, which we see Rosie using. And it's all on the track itself. He gets the power down, Kurt. Tucks in behind Marty again as we now come around through Noble and head up into Goodwood. Drops back a little bit there, gets the line a little bit wrong.
Compact field.
It's a very compact field.
It's very, yeah, from about 7 back, you can see it on the track map there. It's like, nose to tail.
Yep.
Hard to pass. Here we go. Hughes having a look on the inside of Rivet. And that is a lap of this place. As we're about to start the final lap. Bit of a lock up.
Ooh.
Rivet sneaks himself through. Someone's asking where Mr. Baldock is. Mr. Baldock is all the way back in 24th. That's where he is.
Retired.
And big brake lock up from Heath there.
24's where he started, wasn't it?
Correct.
Well, he's consistent then.
He's very consistent.
He said he was going to put a show on for us tonight. The start of the
Show of
broadcast.
consistency.
To find a show.
Well, yeah, that remains debatable too, isn't it?
And definitely moving along here, we are coming in. Kevin O'Neill about to win the heat race, which is the qualifier. So 6 seconds up the road, Rosie and Hughes side by side. And it looks like Hughes is going to sneak through there as well. Of course, Kev has just taken the win. So well done to Kevin. Hughes is going to come through from Rose, Rivet, Heath. We'll go slow. Walden, he's going to bring it home in 6th. Darren Freer, he's up 8 spots into 7th. That's a great result for him. The Leighton Larrikin is absolutely flying. Ash Hall is up 14 in 8th. That is a great one for him as well. He'd be pretty wrapped with that. Bruce Galloway down 7 in 9th, still in the top 10. No, not too far from where he did actual qualifying. And then, of course, Joseph Grenshaw from Unhinged rounds out the top 10, up 8 spots. Dougie Wright is up 6 and 11. Braden O'Loughlin's in 12th. Darren Friend is going to bring it home in 13th. 14th is Timmy Vermey. Yusuf Korafides has recovered to get himself back to 15th. I think that is a pretty impressive drive from him, considering where he is sitting back Darren Vermey up 15 to sit in 16th. That is a great drive for him as well. Michael Hayes up 19 spots, mate. That is an absolute belter. You'd have to be chuffed with that.
Yeah, just was aggressive from start to finish, and it definitely paid off.
Shawnee Slater, 18. 19 was Rob Williams, and Van Ree rounded out the top 20. I think I finished there.
Well,
I'm getting a bit of a push
Ben,
here
right up 10.
little bit of a push here from Greg. Greg's making me earn it. Oh. Definitely making me earn it. And
Drama at the end.
I think I was just happy to finish. I don't have a very big love affair for this track. Okay, I did say that I would show something of somebody on lap, what did we say it was, lap 8, as he comes across in 23rd. So that's a recovery for him. Let's go try and do this way. Bear with us, everybody.
Great work, Dave. Up 1.
And we will hit. So he had that little spin there. We saw that one earlier. Gets himself going. I'd imagine the red mist is set here. There is a green car 10 places up the road. So he gets himself going. And he nicely drives along. See, I did say it'd be the highlights package of Bulldog. This is only heat 1. A little bit wide there. Gets himself under control. And then
He's out by himself. If something goes wrong, it's his own fault.
Yeah. But he got involved in someone else's incident. Might be the next lap. I could be out by 1. Buggered it, I think. Look. It's a short night. We'll keep going. I think he's missed it all. Blue missed behaviour. Yeah, I'm not sure I've missed it, I think. Anyway, won't worry about that. What we will do, we will have a break and then we will come back and have a look at the feature race where all the points and everything is on the line, and we'll see how these boys all go. So bear with us for 90 seconds while we do our magic at this end, and while I do that, enjoy a bit of beautiful music brought to you by the one and only David Holly. Welcome back. We are here at the beautiful Thruxton Circuit in beautiful Hampshire in the United Kingdom for what will be the feature race. This is the main game. This is the one for the points. This is a 26-lap race. 24-lap race. These guys got everything to play for in this one. All the points are up for grabs, and it is going to be an absolute belter of a race. We have one compulsory pit stop that must be taken during the race as well, and we might have a look at the grid to get ourselves up and running and established here. So we'll throw the grid up so everyone can see where it all sits into where we want to be. And it is Kevin O'Neill from We Race sitting on pole, and then it comes alongside him on the front row is Marty Hughes from Pacific Esports. Second row sees Craig Rose from Quantum Racing lining up alongside SLS's Anthony Rivet. And then on the third row, we have Kurt Heath from Apex Sim Racing, and alongside him is Darren Walden from Angry Birds Racing. Darren Free is on the fourth row from W2 Motorsports alongside Ashley Hall from Quantum Racing. Bruce Galloway is on the fifth row from W2 Motorsports, lining up alongside Unhinged Sim Sports, Joseph Grenshaw. Dougie Wright on the sixth row from Old Mates and Sons alongside Braden O'Loughlin from Frog Elite Juiced Racing. Over the page, we then go to, on the seventh row, Darren Friend from Old Mates and Sons, lining up alongside Tim Vermey from 1MLT. On the eighth row, we've got Yusuf Korafidis from Unhinged Sim Sports, and he lines up alongside Darren Vermey from 1MLT. And then we go to the ninth row with Michael Hayes from Unhinged Sim Sports, lining up alongside Sean Slater from Henry James Racing, Team Jinx Shifters, and he lines at 10th row. We've got Robbie Williams from Player One Racing, lining up alongside Van Ree from WKMP. On the 11th row is Greg Sholton from Mustangs North Queensland, lining up alongside Pico Industries, Carl Pickering. On the 12th row is David Baldock from WKMP, lining up alongside Timmy Hall from Player One. And then we go over the page. We have Michael Power, who was one of the quicker guys in qualifying, sitting all the way back there in 25th, lining up alongside Leon Williams from Locked On Lads Racing. And then on the next row, we've got Robbie Baxter from CX2 Reality Racing, lining up alongside Pete Morris from Fishy Motorsports. 29th, on the 15th row is Vaughan Robinson from Southern Cross Racing, lining up alongside David Logstar from Team AJR. And then on to the next row is Pete Wilkinson from Locked On Racing. So he's all the way back there on the 16th row alongside Southern Cross Racing, Simon Pitt. Abel Verban, who didn't finish the first race, is all the way back in 33rd place. Jamie Dyke, of course, was our safety car driver. Dave Coleman is race control, and Phil Marsh is a spotter for the Unhinged boys, who has come in the server as he's still in recovery mode himself. So hopefully we'll have Marshy back in the seats shortly. And just double check that.
Yeah, he's getting there.
So that is the grid, boys. Any thoughts on how this one, you think this one will play out?
There's a few new guys in that top section of the field. That's it's good to see them getting in there and having a go. So it's going to be a hard one to pick with the cars that are up there.
Oh, it's definitely going to be hard.
When you take your pit stop's going to count quite a bit too.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that'll be a factor as well. It'll come into play. Yeah, it's tyre wear. If you go too early, you're going to have no tyres at the end and all that sort of stuff. Going to be very, very interesting to see how it plays out. And you start thinking about the championship here as well. Plenty to play for a few of these boys, particularly the likes of Abel being at the back. I know you get 2 drop rounds, but when you haven't got Williams here, it's an opportunity to step up.
And Simon Black.
Simon Black as well. So a great opportunity there to try and get a couple up on them. Anyway, I think what we might do, boys, we might light the wick on this one and see where it all goes.
Yep, sounds good.
And we're away. Great jump. Kevin O'Neill's locked it up, and Hughes, he's gone. He is taken off. He's nearly a second ahead before the first quarter. That is a great start. And definitely doing quite well is Hughes. O'Neill's coming back. Frere's moving forward a little bit as well. We'll stay in the back here as we come through Campbell and Cobb. So the pack all bunched up, all trying to sort themselves out. So definitely a fair bit happening here. Start on the grass is Grenshaw. As Dave Haynes has joined us. How are you, Dave? Got Dave Haynes from Sim Speed dropping in saying g'day.
G'day.
How are you, Dave?
Good.
You come down to watch the real men race.
Yeah, everyone was too polite and nice to each other in split 1, so I want to see what happens in split 4.
Something weird's just happened there. Also, I've got Rob Baxton in the lead. I don't know what's happened there. Anyway, heading down into club for the first time. Hughes has got a pretty good jump here. I'm going to go a bit further down the back, though, where the action is. Here comes Abel. Abel is coming in to the corner. There's a few guys everywhere. Oh, no! The man has been spun! Not a good night for the man sitting second in the championship. Of course, I'm not going to say which car spun him.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. I've seen that. I've got to watch it again. Oh, yes.
So it's not all about the blue car. Great move here, Dougie Wright, Grenshaw, side by side. And doing very, very well. Oh, hang on to it. Very lucky, straightened him up. So, got to keep a bit of an eye on too. Some guys have been in the lane already. Pete Morris has been in the lane. There's no car sound. Showing me sound in here. He's a little bit quieter. Jump on board. Might shit a bit louder. It's going to go back up, Darren Freeman. We've still got Baxter in front. I don't know what's going on with SDK, but he's not the leader.
Yeah, if he is, he did one hell of a hole shot.
Oh, yeah. He'll claim it too.
Yeah. Yeah, none of us seen him go through, but...
Ghosted.
Normally it cleans itself up pretty quick, so... Not sure what to do with that one. There's lap 3. Here we go. Just fixed itself up. Where is our good friend, Mr. Morris? I've probably missed him a second time around. There he is, Pete's just been clipped again. There's a blue car again. No car sound, just the whole broadcast so far. I don't know why they haven't got any sound. It's coming
Do
through.
they not like our voice?
No, the mix bar's showing it. What I can do is do this. I'm probably a little bit too loud. I'll bring that one down. I don't know why it's not coming through because I'm getting 25s on my bar for sound, so I've got sound. Just check a few other little things.
Yeah, just check YouTube, John. I can hear sound.
Yeah. Balance is fine. There we go. I've just tweaked it a little bit anyway. Just a fraction more. So, being such a wide
Maybe
track,
Mark can give us...
being such a wide track, you've got cameras are a long way from the track. I think that's why the actual iRacing sounds are quieter. You were saying, Hazy?
Well, I was going to say maybe Mark will give us some sound effects as we go around and do a few laps.
Oh, I could give you some sound effects. The tyres scrubbing out.
Walden and Galloway into club. Oh, that's a big spin, that one.
Wow.
And Freya's under a bit of pressure as well from Kurt Heath. There we go. That should fix that up a little bit. Yeah, they can't hear
you guys.
I was trying to turn us down so the car sound comes up more. so they could turn their volume up, but anyway, I'll leave it at that. Anyway, we'll go up the front. So we've got Marty Hughes. He's got himself 2 seconds out ahead from Craig Rose. He's definitely flowing quite well there. Rosie's sitting quite well. Kevin O'Neill, he's still in the top 3. You'd be happy with that. Kurt Heath, 4th. Darren Freer is in 5th. That is a great drive from the Leeton Larrikin. Ashley Hall in 6th. Bruce Galloway from W2 in 7th. Braden O'Loughlin, Frog Leap in 8th. Michael Hayes, you're in the top 10. What are you doing there, son?
Same as last one, pushing as hard as I can.
And, teammate Yusuf Korofidis locked out the top 10. So you got 2 years in there and 2 of the W2 lads. The old...
Michael Powell's doing well.
Yeah.
Wilco's doing
How's
well.
Peter Wilkinson up 16?
He's just gotten through the traffic. There's been a few incidents, like it's been like the 3 incidents that we've already had. He's our TikTok influencer from Split 4. I think he's got about 195 followers at this stage watching him race on TikTok. It's about himself about this stage to jump on and watch myself. So there's still a few good battles around the place, all up and down the grid. Darren Walden coming back out of the lane, so starting to see a few guys have their stop. Sean Slater's pitted as well. So Sean Slater, keep an eye on him. He's gone in for the early stop. Rob Baxter's gone in for the early stop. Walden's gone in for the early stop, and so is Timmy Hall, Pete Morris. So there's a few guys playing the interesting strategy.
The really short pit delta here really incentivizes like the back half of the field to pit early and makes it really difficult for the front half of the field to pit early. And I kind of like that. I sometimes wish, rather than this like 2 compulsory pit stop or whatever else stuff that Formula One keep floating, that they just design a track that has as short a pit delta as here, and then it's like, okay, 3 stop because you lose nothing and you just get the chance to attack again.
That's exactly right. Like you're doing 80 Ks down the lane here, and then you go to the bend and you're doing 40 Ks.
Yeah.
Just feels like forever. What are we on? Lap 7. So Marty's cleared out a bit more.
There's only 13 pit stalls, so what? How many cars in this split? You've got like 3 drivers per pit bay?
Yeah, pretty much. I think we got 33 drivers tonight, so it's not too bad for split 4. And where is our good mate? We'll go sit on him again. Oh, it's Mr. Baxter.
Good to see Mr. Baxter's got a race paint in this race.
Yes.
Dave's on a mission tonight to see how
And
many
he's
cars
driving.
he
He's
can take
driving
advantage
well.
of.
He's got Walden behind him. Anything's possible here. Don't rule him out. He's moving forward. He's clinched the Bulldog Fanry Cup, and he's telling me all about it at this stage. That where he is doesn't matter. Oh, here we go. Come into club. What's going to happen? He gets through neatly. That's safe. We'll come back in a lap's time, I think. So Ash Hall still sitting in 6th behind Freya. Freya and Rose having a good little battle. So it would be great for these guys as well with this mixed grid that we have running in this series for the heat and feature race. These guys, I reckon, probably going to get a lot of confidence out of running up the front than the mid-pack where they usually run. So I think it'll be quite interesting to see how these guys feel about it all after last night, and to see if we see a little bit more confidence in their driving as we get to Mexico next week.
Yeah, hopefully they have another good week.
That front straight's going to be so much fun.
Oh yeah, you're going to get down into that turn 1, and you're going to be coming in with a lot of speed. It's going to be interesting.
Do the brake markers start early enough for these cars?
I hope so. Here we go. We're going through wide in the club here. Going through wide in the club here. Walden takes to the grass.
Oh,
Oi!
3 wide, but they're not in the club.
Not in there yet. Almost didn't get there. Would it? So, Baldock in the thick of it again. I hope you apologised. Oh, a little bit of one there, Yusuf and Braden. I'm hoping Baldock apologised to Baxter for that. A little bit of a flick of a light there from Yusuf as well. Wasn't too impressed. So,
no, I think he got a bit of a rub in the corner.
well, it couldn't have been too bad. It didn't show up in my records.
No, he was able to keep
Darren.
going, so he didn't call it.
Darren's taking the shortcut. That'll be a big slowdown there. And Bruce into the pits as well. So all happening.
Dave reckons that one wasn't his fault, so the other 4 were his fault.
You're on track, Dave. It's your fault anyway.
Dearie me. So Kevin is now under pressure from Kurt. Kurt's driving really, really well. This is what we saw out of Kurt when he did the over 40 series last season. He did show some glimpses of some good pace. He probably struggled a little bit this season in split 4 to come to grips, I think, with the larger fields. But I think he's starting to show each week now that that pace is there. And it's a fine art as you see Kevin cover off the corner in the club. Razy tucked up behind you. Oh, sorry, Hall tucked up behind. We're just going back to our stop, guys. Wilco's had his stop now. So we need to keep an eye on that. So Wilco back in 19th, up 12. So he's making a little bit of a move here with the earlier stop. So of course only one compulsory pit stop, being the short race, and lap 12 would be the delta for that. So if you've gone in lap 7, that's probably not too bad for an undercut, and you can see plenty of space in front, so he's got an open track in front of him. Just going to go back up front. That gap's closed even more. Kevin coming back at him.
So wide as well. Like,
Yeah.
you could hit lap 2 and make it to the end on fuel, which doesn't happen normally.
Yeah. That was the reason why we kept the tank at 85% and try and make it in that situation. You only really needed the 16 litres. And figure the track.
Come from split 1, is that right, David?
No, David's.
Sure did.
Yeah. What do you see, David? The difference between the split 1s and split 4s? What some patterns do you see that are different between the skill groups of the drivers?
You know, I reckon the split 1 guys are a bit ruder to each other.
Is that right?
Like,
Yes.
I think, you know, obviously there's a speed difference, there's like a performance difference. I think what I see, like split 3 and split 4, is people who are cognizant of what their skill is and give their rivals perhaps a little bit more space. For a split 1, yeah, a lot of really good drivers of these cars, a lot of really quick drivers of these cars, and so they're not quite as generous to each other.
Yeah, that makes sense. Coming from split 4,
So it's-
I think.
It's
There's a
higher
lot of
skill,
respect
but
in the
not
split 4
necessarily
group.
cleaner.
The elbows are a lot more out.
Bit more sweat.
Yeah, so there's good competition in split 4. There's a lot of respect amongst all the drivers on the track. There's argy-bargy, obviously. There's hip and shoulder in the now. But I think as we're all learning in split 4, we're all fast, but that competitiveness takes a different form in the higher splits, I imagine.
Yeah, and that's what, particularly these guys like Abel and stuff that have finding their feet down here in split 4 and going to move their way forward. The further forward they go, the harder it's going to get in terms of, elbows out and guys not giving as much as what the guys in split 4 do. Like, you know, like most blokes in Split 4 know, when the faster guy comes up behind them, irrespective of where the race is sitting, they're going to let them through and focus on who they're usually battling with. So it's, you go to those higher splits, you're battling for every single position, every single inch of track. And guys get a lot more desperate because you've got a field of 30 cars, particularly like Split 2 and Split 2 and some degree Split 3. You've got a field of 30 cars separated by a second. So it is hard to find that gap. And also, I think the Split 4 guys know that if you do something huge and monumental, it's going to get broadcasted on the cheat sheet. So,
I'm just wondering whether or not the Split 4 guys, maybe they're just getting sick of seeing Dave on track and hopefully he goes up to Split 3.
I'm trying that theory.
I think that's why he's so high up.
Yeah, it's a theory.
Raisy's into the lane. So starting to see a few more. And Galloway, right, they've gone in as well. So starting to see everyone roll out their stops now. Michael Power stayed out. To answer that question, basically, we go by the ranking system. So the ranking system's slightly different to the points system for a championship, because in the championship you can't drop the last round, where if you have a bad last round in the ranking systems, in our ranking system, you can drop the bad last round in the ranking system. So there is a little bit of a juggle in that. We then have what's called the pub test. So say you finish in the top 5 and you go up in, automatically get elevated to, say, from Split 4 to Split 3. But if you're somebody like Troy Stone Street or Luke Powell, where you've basically come and just won every race very easily and convincingly, we've just, the pub test might push you up 2 splits. Or 3 splits, or 2 splits in the case of those guys.
Someone missed their pit box. The rotor chute.
Whoops, I missed that one. Wasn't me, was it?
We all know that R in the gearbox stands for race. So if you have to engage that gear during the event, things are going well for you.
Definitely. And Freya Power in the lane now as well. So starting to see everyone have all their stops. Kevin O'Neill is leader on track of the stopped cars. He's got Wilco 8 seconds behind him. Kev's got a bit of work to do to maintain that. Of course, Wilco stopped on lap 7.
This is a thought that I had the other night, is actually because because pit stalls are set based on grid stalls, and then it overlaps once, you're past all the 13 grid stalls, and then so 14th on the grid has the first pit stall. Everyone's pit stall in this second race would have been different from the first race.
Correct, yeah.
Yes.
So you very well may have needed to pit for a penalty or for damage in race 1, being like right at the end of the lane, and then, come in for your compulsory pit stop here and be like, oh, wait, my pit stall's suddenly right at the start of the lane because I started the race in 26th or 13th or something.
Yeah.
100%, Dave. We saw that just then. Somebody actually missed their pit. My player 1 team, somebody was in Split 3 during the race. It happened to him as well. Missed his window entirely. And we're negotiating on the chat, like, do we reverse back? Does he just go through again? So I think you raised a really good point. That could be a common, you call it, like you've got a mental one once you come to the pit where I pitted last time. You're thinking of that spot, and then you have to be Johnny on the spot to change that tack if it moves around. It can really throw some drivers.
Because I say this all the time, is like, where your grid stall is defines where your pit stall is. So from leaving the pit lane in qualifying to the race, it can move, but then normally it's pretty easy to work out. Like in a 40-car grid at a track that has 40 pit stalls, it's like, I was right at the back of the grid, I'm going to be right at the back of pit lane. But then here, with just the 13 pit stalls, it loops around 3 times, and you got to know your 13 times table to know where your pit crew's waiting in race 2.
Oh, that was I think that was Vaughan had a bit of an off. Vaughan, in the process of being lapped, I think he was. So that's all right. He's got it going again. Yeah, like I know myself on my dash, when I come into the pit lane, it actually gives me the distance. It shows me the distance on the screen to where my box is. Oh, Kevin. That's Kevin in trouble there. That's Kevin going
no,
backwards.
hard as well.
And that was in with Vaughan again too, I think. So, yeah, Kev, that's going to push him back. That's going to let Wilco go through. But Hughes has stopped as well, and so has Heath now. So, Abel's the only man on track in that front group. Abel and Rob Williams, the only ones who have not made this compulsory pit stop. And of course, Marty Hughes just tucked behind him, who
Let us
has.
know in the chat there, Kevin. What happened? Aside from being a mother.
Continuing on, Yusuf and Ashley Hall having a good little battle. Yusuf using all the grass and some. Lap 18 at 24. This is ticking over very, very quickly as Verban and Williams are in the lane now. So the last of the guys to make their compulsory pit stop are rolling through. Drink out of the filing cabinet. That's why we got Will's beaning there. Oi, a little bit of a twitch at the back there as well. So these boys, absolutely. Galloway getting a bit twitchy. Oh, Freya, sorry. Not Galloway. Freya. It's closer. I'll get it right. Both cars the same colour. But we can see Kevin under a lot of pressure from Hall, Power in the mix as well. So great recovery from Michael. He's got himself up 18 spots. Wilco's up 28 spots.
Left. Everyone will be feeling the 6 laps left. They're thinking, right, I can probably go hard now. Short race.
Yeah, unless you're Wilco, because Wilco, you got to remember, went in on lap 7. Slater went in on lap 2. So, yeah, I feel these boys got some games to play. And it's Kevin going in for what I think is going to be his second stop. Not sure what the first one was. They jump back on with Abel. So he's got himself 9th. He's up 24 spots. That's a reasonably good recovery. He's driving fairly well. Mate, getting past Bruce is no mean easy feat, and then get past Darren Freer as well. So a bit of work to be done still for Abel. Kevin was in for repairs. There we go. And squeezing to the outside of the track. Very lucky not to go off on the grass there. Abel gets on the inside of him this time though. Nice over and under. No, I haven't touched the water bottle. And continuing on. So lap 20, Freya's under pressure from Verban now. He's going to get past him as well. So he's making some moves. This is the guy sitting second in the championship. Coming from a long way back, up 26 spots. This is a cracking drive from Abel. And of course, Michael Powers up 19 spots in front of him. Wilco's into the top 3, sitting up 28 spots. Yeah, Pete Morris somebody asking what does the orange flag mean? So the orange flag, of course, being the orange circle with a black background being the meatball flag. meaning you've got to pit because you've got a damaged car.
The latest UI update, from the driver's perspective, they changed the graphics of the flags that are displayed to you.
Yeah.
The furled black flags for slowdowns suddenly looks even more limp and flaccid. No, it does.
You're not wrong, David. They're furled like an actual flag rather than being just a clear indicator. That's what he's saying.
So that's why I always have the graphic pop up on the screen to say slow down with the timing and stuff right in front of you, clear and large. I don't even know.
Better, John. Does it help?
Yeah, I don't even notice the black flag. I just says, slow down. You got 1 second slow down to do in 28 seconds. That allows you to manage your slowdown. Or I think, just see the furled black flag. It'd be, where do you go? What do you do? Where's Rosie? And he is up the back part of the circuit. Oh, I am in pits. There we go. I've missed my accident. Woohoo! I've backed in. I've hit the wall. I've got.
Is reverse gear tall enough to even speed in pit lane?
Not when it's 80 Ks. The rear wing falls off and then that thing is impossible to steer. Now I'll jump back up the front. I did get clipped coming out of club by Kurt, I think it was, who I thought my rear wing came off when Kurt hit me. So anyway, Baldock in the background. That is the end of my cheat sheet. So we have got a fight to the finish here to focus on.
Was 50 Cent there as well, or did you not find him in the club?
He was definitely not in the club. Someone's got to pay for that repair bill. Someone's got to pay for that repair bill. Would be more than 50 cents. Anyway, for those playing along at home, that put Baldock in front of me. So at this stage, we'll get to the end of the race. We've only got 2 laps to go here. Marty Hughes is looking very, very stable here and quite comfortable. And he has driven really, really well. He's got himself out in front and been quite well balanced.
Yeah, he kind of looks like he's just on a Sunday drive, doesn't he? He's just not hammering the car through the corners.
Yeah. So we've got Kurt sitting there in P2. I think I've just got to quickly bring up another sheet. Put that in front of me. So Kurt, he is driven pretty well. I think he'd be pretty chuffed with how he's driven. It's just how it rolls out in, of course, Sim Racer Hub and everything else, because he will get a pit lane penalty, post-race pit lane penalty for the little indiscretion with myself. So there is a couple of penalties rolling around out there as well. To other people relatively well up as well. Abel's also got a 20-point post-race penalty from race 1 incident. So that will have some bearings on where things roll out points-wise when it gets into Sim Racer Hub. But Marty Hughes is on the final lap and he is doing really, really well. He'd be pretty chuffed with this one. This will be his second win for the season if he doesn't fall off between here and the end. And I think he has really done a great job in this one. He's controlled where he's been. He was one of the ones that got shuffled towards the back in the Heat 1 where we did the whole mixed grid scenario, and he has really capitalised on it. And we've seen a few other guys struggle being further back in the pack, but Marty has definitely made it look like fairly easy work, particularly in his second heat. everyone in the top 5 and 6 have definitely all spread quite well out now. And that is Marty Hughes coming across for the finish. And he will take the win for that one. Kurt Heath will come across the line in second, but he will drop back down the order a fair bit. The next guy to come across the line, there we go, Kurt's carried it across the line anyway. The next guy across the line is Peter Wilkinson. And Yusuf Korafides is third. So let me just quickly check the sheet. We'll go to slow play here. Fourth will be, after Abel Verban, we'll come across Michael Power. After Michael Power, we saw Ash Hall, Sean Slater, Darren Freer, Michael Hayes. Kurt Heath ends up in 10th with that pit lane penalty. Carl Pickering, people being shuffling everywhere here, so I'm not sure what's going on. So that pretty much rounds out our top 10 at the moment. So Dougie Wright, Braden, Carl Pickering. So yeah, we'll let that settle down. I'll read it out off the score sheets. This is based on total points, not on finishing position. So Hughes, Wilkinson, Korafides, Michael Power, Ash Hall, Sean Slater, Darren Freer, Michael Hayes, Dougie Wright in 9th, Braden O'Loughlin in 10th, Pico was 11th, 12th was Grenshaw, Verban was 13, 14 was Robbie Williams, 15 was Galloway, 16 is Kevin O'Neill, 17 Rivet, Darren Friend 18, Timmy Vermey 19, and 20th was Craig Rose. So that rolled that one out. At this stage, I was already out of the rig and gone. I was catching up with Pato. Pato surprisingly dropped into town last night, so I thought I'd go catch up with him. Driver of the day, boys, any thoughts? There's a couple of interesting names in there with big numbers next to them, like such as Wilco, Abel, Michael Power up 20
I'm going
and
to throw out
5th.
someone different.
Yeah.
I was going to throw out Ashley Hall because those other guys have done a great recovery, but Ashley hasn't been that high and had one hell of a race, so that's who I'd throw in there.
This is
He's
the
up
same logic I went
14.
for in split one. Is like there were other people that thought Logan Barnett, and I was like, no, he qualified in the top 10, gave himself a drive-through penalty in the first race, and then had to start from 30th, and then got back into the top 10. He shouldn't have got a drive-through penalty in the first race.
Yeah. Yeah, and mine was saying that too. Ashley Hall was up 14 in the split in the heat one, so he's
Yeah, in the
technically
heat
up
one.
16 places.
Yeah, he did all the work in the first one and then held on for the second.
I tell you what, he's a name we don't talk about too often, so I reckon we might go there. Based on what these guys are saying, with the up in the first race as well. So we will go with Ash Hall. Oh, my huck. Helps so I can type too. Ash Hall as our M1 Quality Used Cars car of the day. So well done, Ash. Ashley, that is quite good. I know we're going to be getting trouble here from the crowd because the crowd were all swinging very hard towards Wilco. But I think we'll see Wilco up near the front again, battling and having a good performance.
If Wilco's listening, he should pull his finger out and get the win next time.
No, Wilco is actually at six-a-side hockey, soccer. That's where Wilco is. He's ditched us for some real sport. So let me go back because I do have things. So Wilco, of course, on the podium. So he will read out what I've gotten. So I have six-a-side soccer on Fridays for the moment, so I can't join you on the broadcast tonight as our game is right in the middle and the end of the broadcast. It looks like even with my penalty, I'll hold on to second. Well, it ends up being third. So can I get you to say a couple of things for me, please? Apologies to Tim Vermey for hitting him in race one. It was a skill issue on my end, and my brain just got excited watching everyone locking up, and I forgot to brake. Secondly, thank you to the whole community for how they have embraced all of the content that he's been putting out on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. It's been amazing seeing all the drivers from across the splits that have been dropping into the stream and commenting on videos. It is truly amazing. that and all the people that have been watching the TikTok stream, he had a total of 90. He had 93 at once during the feature race last night. It has really helped me find the passion for this little hobby yet again. So yeah, we'll go in a good spot, which is great. Great to get a bit of feedback from him. Let's check that we haven't got anyone else sitting. No one's sitting down there. I know Marty Hughes would want to thank the boys at Pacific Esports Racing for his second win in the series. Those guys are having a pretty good season at the moment. Like I said, he's strung together here his second win. He'd be pretty chuffed with that, I think. And of course, that's where I've left. I've walked out of the room already. So I told you I didn't hang around very long. Yeah, so I think he'd be pretty chuffed with that. And I think the guys, of course, at Pacific Esports, Marty's showing some pace to work himself further forward. So, yeah, I think he'd be quite chuffed with what they've got going on there. And, of course, a shout-out to Lake Edge Holiday Units, which where Steve Banks' business, team boss. Yeah, so big shout-out to those guys. And I think it was Yusuf we said was the man sitting on the podium as well, Hazy. So I'll hand that one over to you.
Yep. Yeah, well, he'd like to thank our league sponsors, and then people like Sean and Gary for the training that they give out, and as always, Phil Marsh for being our spotter and keeping us out of trouble.
Too easy. So we move on to round 8. So before we talk about round 8, just a reminder that entries are open for season 26. It's hard to believe I'm already at that stage where we're looking and talking about that. It is the short gap or the short break because we do have the 2-week gap for Christmas. So we have the one round before Christmas and then we go straight back into it. We've already got 89 registered. I really need to have in the books 150 when we get to the shut-off date, which I'll remind everybody. When we get to the shut-off date, which is the 20th of November, so after we finish racing on the 20th, that'll be the shut-off date. If we have less than 150 entries at that stage, it'll only be 3 splits. Yeah, that's what we're looking at the moment, just to try and keep it under control. And it is time consuming for the management and committee group running around after setting up drivers' leagues, names, getting everything squared away. And it is only the short gap, and I know I'm away for half a week or a week on that one as well. So yeah, it's the trip to Adelaide. That was the next thing I was going to talk about. So for you South Australian boys, I've said it a few times, keep the weekend of the 6th free. We'll be over that way. Josh Drage will organise some details shortly, so catch up for dinner. That is still on the cards. And next week, boys, thoughts on Mexico, and secondly, the fact that we're doing the NASCAR National Circuit.
Well, after doing a few laps tonight and doing the GT3 race and the supports series that we're running on Wednesday nights, it will be interesting. But there is one thing I've noticed tonight, and there's a couple of spots where you can technically go off track to gain in position or lap speed. But remember, when you're coming back on, you're making a re-entry.
That's exactly right. And then I think the other thing you've got to remember too is with this layout, you've got the big tyre chicanes, the big tyres and the chicanes as well.
Hurt.
Yeah.
They hurt.
And I think when you bounce off it, you're going to hurt someone else as well. So that's another factor you've got to be conscious of.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely going to be an interesting one. And of course,
the white lines.
Yeah. And then of course, after a couple of weeks of mixing everything up and spinning it around and upside down, I think we might make it a bit simple, this one. I think it might read stock standard out of the book. I don't think we'll have rain. I don't think we'll have heat racing. It'll be the stock standard as we've been advertising. And then, of course, the following week after that, we go to the Red Bull Ring. So back over to the one and only time of the year, of course, where it's in the winter, so it may be wet. So just have to keep an eye out on the sup rigs when they come out for that one. And then we finish the season off at Thruxton with a sprint round. So only 3 rounds to go. One thing I haven't done is we haven't looked at the championship points, which we'll quickly do, and throw that up there, championship points. And we'll have a look at that now after 7 rounds with 2 drops. Steve Williams is still in control of the championship. Verbane's closed that gap now down to 20. Sean Slater is 20 points back in 3rd. Simon Black, who didn't race last night, is still in contention there in 4th. Pete Kelly, he's knocking on the door as well to get himself onto that podium position. Peter Wilkinson's not out of reach either, nor's Yusuf. And then Michael Hayes drops back a little bit further. Then Carl Pickering on his heels with Pete Morris. Darren Frere in 11th. Baldock still hanging on to 12th. I think he's trying to be in the top 15, I think is what his goal is. So we'll see if he can pull it off in the next 3 races. And then we have O'Neill, Walden, Heath, Vermate, Dougie Wright, Darren Friend, Robbie Williams, Braden O'Loughlin, Greg Sholton, Anita Buckland, Craig Rose, Timmy Hall and Joseph Grenshaw round out the top 25. So it is everything to play for, Mark.
Yes, it definitely is.
Yeah.
There's some interesting races coming up. Interesting tracks coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, I think. I think it's going to be a very tough finish, and I think Thruxton Ring will be very similar to what we've just done here at Thruxton, is my guess. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting track to finish the series on. Anyway, on that note, I think we might wrap this one up, and we will see everybody again next Friday night when we'll be coming to you from Mexico. Thanks for watching.
Have a good night. See you next week.
See you next week, boys.
Using the RaceKraft PT1 custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with a 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a RaceKraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in sound bar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The RaceKraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.